Welcome to Hobby Pulse Check. New episodes every Saturday morning. Today's a good episode. We're going over who is a good long-term hold. And we have a lot of different takes, and we go over a lot of different sports, and I hope you enjoy it.
But the cream rise to the top, oh yeah.
So in the year 2000, so that's 25 years since then, you had Ichiro and Pujols. I think both of those are good ones to hold. I also think in the 2000s you have Jeter. Bonds is more 90s, but you could say Bonds. So those are the
Jeter's 93, I think. That's going a little further
I guess he's rookie, but he retired in 2015. So like he has a lot of cards in the 2000s. So I kind of, I from that era. If we want to do players who debuted past the year 2000, then yes, we'll remove Jeter and Bonds. I would say we have Pujols, we have Ichiro. I think even though Trout right now is not very popular, you could argue Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani. I think those are probably your best bet. And I know I'm probably forgetting somebody that someone's yelling at me in the comments for.
So for me, wrestling, there's a clear number one. It's Tiffany Stratton, who's currently a women's champion over on SmackDown.
You could break all the records, but when it's all said and done, you'll always come second to your daddy, Ric Flair.
3 years ago, I think 5 years ago, she wasn't even wrestling. 3 years ago, she was down in the minor leagues of WWE, for those who don't follow WWE. She has killed it at every single level. I think Hollywood is going to be a natural transition for her. I don't think she's going to be in wrestling that much longer. She's going to end up being a part-timer like Roman Reigns or The Rock. So on the female side, I mean, she's got everything. Her stuff already sells for crazy amounts of money, and I think that her rookie stuff and even her stuff now from 2025, 2024, easy buys.
It's Tiffy time.
If you count, so since 2005, there's a slight cutoff issue there because would you count Tom Brady and Peyton Manning? Both of those started around 2000. So, the majority of their collection, the cards are after 2005. So those are sort of the obvious ones, Brady and Manning. And you could even throw Drew Brees in there as well. If you go with just quarterbacks, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is still a little early. People would say, no, he's like the first ballot Hall of Famer, greatest all time. No, he's way too early to say that. But he's pretty safe. He's got 3 Super Bowls already. Who would be next in the quarterback realm after him?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a write-in category for myself as well and put soccer in there since no one's representing it, and do Messi and Ronaldo. That's not a super bold take, but for what it's worth, out of all like markets and sports, like I've said it for a couple of years now. I feel the strongest about those two and their cards out of anything. And so far, it's gone pretty well. To answer your question, basketball, who do I believe in? I wish I had like a more fun take that like not everyone was thinking about, but Curry is definitely the one that comes to mind. I'm biased. I'm a Warriors fan, but I guess if I was going to make it a little bit more hot take, like I'm more on the Curry train than the LeBron train for sure. Like I think that when people are collecting in nostalgia, like you remember how players made you feel and like how much you looked up to them and stuff like that. And I think Curry just does that for people in a different way than LeBron. Like people are kind of torn on LeBron. Even more like people make the Jordan comparisons. Like obviously I wasn't alive back then. I was born in 1995, but I don't think people were this divided on Jordan. I know there was what did he say? Republicans buy shoes too, or some stuff that was going on.
Right.
But
that's right.
But I don't think it's the same as LeBron. Like for me personally, I'm not a huge LeBron guy, and it's not a political thing either, even though I know that's for some people, but like, I'm just not a huge LeBron guy. So, I'm sure his cards will do good long-term. Don't get me wrong, but Curry, if I had to choose anyone, like that's the guy, like he's the guy of our generation, even more so for the people whose voices aren't heard in this space right now how old are these kids now? Probably like 13. Like LeBron's already gone at that. Like, the once those kids it's going to be Curry they're chasing 100%, not LeBron. So that market should get even stronger.
Oh wow! Curry 3 rise and fire.
Would Cabrera make that list or no?
No, not for me. And I think Miguel Cabrera is awesome, but he's not going to have more value than other guys.
And Judge is already put in that tier.
I do. He's a Yankee. He has the home run record. He'll probably win his 3rd MVP.
Because you would argue, you would agree Ohtani has kind of solidified himself even ahead of Judge.
Oh yeah, Ohtani I think solidified himself as one of the best baseball collectors. I mean, baseball players to collect all time to me. And I don't know if you know this. I used to be not anti-Ohtani because I liked Ohtani. I was never anti-Ohtani. I always just thought his cards were too expensive compared to everybody else in the market. And I realized that at the time I felt that way because he hadn't accomplished as much as he has now. But now that he's accomplished what he's accomplished, it's hard to argue that anymore, because if you look at someone like Jordan, who really separates from everybody else by such a large degree, there's nobody in baseball in the last 30 years who's been able to do that and that's going to be doing that besides Ohtani. And so if we're looking at like really the top 1%, that's who's there. But I do think you could put Mookie in there. You could put Trout. You could put Judge, Pujols, and Ichiro. I think all those guys will do well as players who debuted post the year 2000.
On the men's side, I got to go with Roman Reigns. Number one, his career isn't done yet. His storyline, the whole Bloodline storyline, really carried WWE into this kind of hot era that it's in right now. And I just think that you look at his character arc, you look at where his stuff is, and I don't, especially for autographs, because he just doesn't have as much out there as, say, the other guys like John Cena, who's been around for 20 years. Right now, man, I think I'm very bullish on Roman. I'm very bullish on Tiffany Stratton. So those would be my top two picks.
Acknowledge me.
I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers is a little I don't know that the resume is quite enough to sort of be like a super safe forever long-term hold guy. But yeah, put Mahomes after Brady and Manning. I think there's good receiver options. Larry Fitzgerald would be a great one. I think Calvin Johnson will stay long-term memory in people's memory. He was just such a stud. It wasn't for that long, but he was just such a stud. The running back position is tough because the running backs just aren't used the way they used to be. So I probably wouldn't recommend any running back.
There's two big names I would say, and I'll get your feedback.
Peterson and Tomlinson.
Yep.
Peterson and Tomlinson.
Read my mind. What would you? I would pick Tomlinson over Peterson.
That's a toss up. I'll give you Tomlinson. Again, he's 2005 is a little late cutoff for him, but yeah, those.
What about someone like Gronk?
I think Gronk. I mean, he's been like surpassed by Kelsey now, right? Like
or Kelsey. So what about those two guys? They're tight ends. They normally, but they were.
I got one more good one. I wouldn't go tight end because I remember Tony Gonzalez being the unquestioned best tight end ever 10 years ago, or let's say pre-Gronk, and now he's already kind of forgotten as
my only thing with Gronk is that after you think of Patriots dynasty, after Brady, Gronk is probably number two.
He's definitely number. Well, I guess Belichick. I mean,
okay, all right.
But yeah, no, he's definitely number two, which is actually. It speaks to Tom Brady's greatness. If
true,
he didn't have a Robin for many of those years as Batman.
Were you going to mention I think you were going to mention someone else possibly.
I got one more. I would definitely throw in there. That's Aaron Donald.
I love Aaron Donald.
Yeah, I do. I mean, Lawrence Taylor has really survived the test of time in terms of his popularity. I mean, 40 years later, and I think Aaron Donald's in that category. Like debatably the best defensive player since Lawrence Taylor, maybe not counting like cornerbacks like Dion or something, but yeah. So Aaron Donald would be the other one I'd throw in there. I wish he hadn't retired. I wish he had played a few more years and had won a few more defensive player of the years. But yeah.
What about these guys? I mean, if you brought up Brady and Manning, what about someone like Ray Lewis or Polamalu?
Oh, Ray Lewis is a good one. Yeah. Ray Lewis and Polamalu, both. But actually, I think defensive players, you can go. It's probably easier to find like all-time great defensive players in the last 30 years than offensive players. Well, maybe not, but
maybe we'll do this one. I like this question. So, what about we looked up Brian Dawkins, and I was shocked that his value kind of holds.
Yeah, no, well, because a lot of the defensive players don't have a lot of cards, and
not many graded,
right? Who's grading a Geno Atkins rookie? Not many.
Good name. Hey, now
Atkins, he might make the Hall of Fame.
Bengals, Geno Atkins.
Yeah, he's got one rookie, a 2012 tops. He's probably going to make the Hall of Fame. Nobody would grade it because most people will think it's a common when they get it. So there's very few copies, very few graded copies. Yeah.
It also, I'm
Kobe guy, so it bugs me LeBron just skipped Kobe. I watched both their full careers. I mean, to just put LeBron over Kobe's crazy. Just compare him to Jordan.
I got to interrupt there really quickly. I mean, in my opinion, maybe some people, I think most people won't disagree with this. LeBron has had a better career than Kobe, but I would rather have Kobe cards long term than LeBron because of how much people really mess with Kobe and love Kobe. So for what that's
Kobe
worth.
5 titles, LeBron 4. I know LeBron, you can go on forever with stats. For me, it was the killer mentality. Curry has it. Jordan had it. Kobe had it. LeBron to me is a little mentally soft. That's just my take. He's all, what is the other thing? I want to back Curry because Topps and when 2003 came, they overprinted because they knew LeBron was coming and it was for money. 09, Curry's pop counts and different rookie cards are way less, just way less than LeBron. So I agree with you on the Curry point.
Yeah, the only thing that gets me about Curry is I do not like his rookie card at all. I do not like the Topps Chrome or the Topps when it's just the white top, like it's basically unlicensed. That's the only thing that I don't like about Curry's market, but there's a ton of different cards out there if you have an issue with that like me.
Trike really went for only Steph Curry. And if you think about it, 03 is LeBron. And between LeBron and Curry, those two won a lot of championships over that 15-year span after Kobe and Duncan were done. And it's after Kobe and Duncan, and you could throw Shaq in there. It's LeBron and Curry. And I guess you could throw D-Wade, Grant. They're not on that same level. I think they're tier B. They're that next tier. And after that, we just don't know who because none of these new players have won titles. Joker only has one championship, and the NBA's only got more and more great young talent that's entered the league. And then I think about guys like Klay Thompson or Draymond Green or secondary players, even a Ray Allen who won a title in Boston and Miami, hit some big shots, by the way. Their cards just don't hold that kind of value, or not a large majority of their cards, very few of their cards, if any. So as much as I say Klay Thompson or someone like that or Draymond Green, history doesn't show that.
Miggy, there's a lot of players in that secondary tier, like Miggy's there. Kershaw's there. He has his own, playoff stuff he has to deal with. You have Buster Posey. There's a lot of great players.
Freddie Freeman, I keep going back to.
Yeah,
Buster Posey's a good pull.
They're kind of all like that next tier down. Bryce Harper's someone you could argue as well.
Kershaw's a good name because Kershaw does it. He came in a time where there wasn't a lot printed or a lot of his stuff. Yeah. There's not, a ton of his stuff great. That's an interesting name. I'd be curious how Kershaw holds.
Kershaw, if he just didn't have such a bad postseason narrative, I think he'd hold a lot better. But he really is the best pitcher of this generation by far. Regular season, at least. He's by far the best pitcher. So that's the thing. But he also is a pitcher. Yeah. And that's never beneficial, right, to you. But yeah, so I'd say my big five, the top five, we're going to say Pujols, Ichiro, Trout, Judge, and Ohtani. Those are the, Toto could be in there too someday, but it doesn't look like that right now.
That is hammered into left. Oh my gosh. That ball is absolutely murdered.
I also want to add one little disclaimer to the end, especially with someone like Curry, some of these other players, Ohtani. Some of their card prices they're baked into the price, some of the value here. So yes, most of these players we mentioned today are excellent long-term holds. They're the cream of the crop, but just be a little careful overpaying in the current market because, well, there's some funny prices right now.
A lot of defensive players are in that spot.
I know we're going a little ways back, but we mentioned Manning and Brady. What about someone? I think one and not the other, but Randy Moss and Terrell Owens are kind of together there. I'm a Randy Moss guy, but what about those two players?
Oh, interesting. I would almost put them in the exact same category. So I want to hear why they're so different for you.
Just growing up, I loved Moss. I thought he was more flashy. I thought he made better, amazing plays. I loved his personality off the field. So Moss just was a fan favorite for me, where T.O. was a little bit more of a prima donna. You could probably say Moss was also, but T.O. seemed to start too many problems everywhere he went, where Moss did not.
Wait, they both. Well, Terrell Owens kept getting traded because he was such a pain. But
that's right.
Wasn't Moss? Didn't that happen to Moss too? Or
so Moss went from the Vikings to my Raiders, and I was so excited, and he played terribly. I mean, he didn't want to be there. He got traded almost right away for a 4th round pick to the Patriots, where he crushed it.
Dominated, yeah. Oh, bummer. Oh man, that is a bummer. Who was his quarterback with the
That
Raiders?
was a bummer. Oh God, who even knows?
Nobody.
I mean, Jamarcus Russell could have been.
No,
I don't think it was him, but it was pretty bad. It wasn't Rich Gannon.
It wasn't Rich Gannon, yeah. Who you guys stole from my Redskins?
Love Rich Gannon, our best QB in my lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah. We went to the Super Bowl, right?
Yes, he had Rice and Brown on that team.
Oh, Jerry Rice was on that Super Bowl team?
Yeah, Tim Brown, Jerry Rice, and was it Andre Rison? Andre Rison was there for a minute.
Okay, that's a
fun team.
By the way, both those guys were old at that point. Were they?
Yes, but producing.
Jerry Rice is stupid, but Tim Brown was still producing.
Yeah. Gosh, those were our best years.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you have not. As always, thank you for watching, and have a great day.
What up, everybody? This is Robert Ory, aka Big Shot Bob, and you're watching Professional Sports Cards. Hey, by the way, go buy my rookie card.